going through it right now. And I just feel like I'm at the point of my life where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm genuinely confused and don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. Like, I got a job, but I just can't keep money. That's just so stressful. And it's like, I don't even know what I'm spending my money on. I have poor money management. I just can't get this right. And it's getting to the point to where it's pissing my boyfriend off. And I don't want to be a leech. I don't want to just be around taking. This is so unfair because I don't know what to do. I'm wasting my time. I'm not doing with myself. I'm 23 years old. I got a car from my mom and only a year left off on the payments. And it's like, I'm struggling. There should be no way that I can't pay the car note on time. The car note is due every 2 weeks. I get paid every week. There should be no way I'm struggling to pay $200 every 2 weeks. I have a job. I work at Amazon. I make good money. But it's just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm spending my money on. Every paycheck is just so short because I just so used to taking out. I need another side hustle to where I don't have to take out of my check. I'm trying to do the hair, but ain't nobody really with me down to the hair because I'm in a hating ass city that only support popular people with a bigger fan base. How am I supposed to perfect my craft if nobody comes to me? I know how to do wigs. I know how to do braids. I need another side hustle so that I don't take out my check. And I know this is nobody else's problem. This is a problem that I gotta get together. I'm so confused and lost on what I'm doing with my life. I just been having breakdown after breakdown because I just feel like I'm not doing it with my life. I need some type of financial support or something because, man, it's hard. How am I still struggling with a job? My boyfriend has some money just sent to my Cash App, and I use overdraft so that I won't have to take out my checks. I can use that money and buy whatever I want. But he would have money sent to my Cash App, and then overdraft would take like half of it, and it's damn. I want to send him his full amount. I'll transfer money on my check to make sure he have his full amount. It's a problem that I have, and I can't even get my words together.
I'm going to try really hard to play the role more of big sister slash auntie versus my normal, probably somewhat, I don't know, sarcastic self. I'm going to wade into the water here and I'm really going to try to help her out because I see a lot of things and I'm sure you do too. All right. That are some that are just simply from my experience and others, well, we see a train wreck. So let's take a look here. First off, she talks about, not necessarily in this particular order, she talks about how she needs financial support. Well, she has that financial support, so to speak, I guess, through her boyfriend. She says that sends her money for Cash App, but she can't seem to keep the money because she's not budgeting. This isn't about financial support so much as it is about she needs to track where her money is going. You can give someone, and this is why begging doesn't work on TikTok when the people beg on TikTok and they're asking you directly for money. And she's not doing that here. So I am going to give her some kudos on that. Okay. I didn't get the impression she was trying to beg for money. I got more the impression that she's really kind of lost financially. Well, when someone says, I need financial support, no, what you need is you need a budget plan until you get to the point that you don't need to budget so tightly. But I think I look at budgeting very much like exercise. You know, when I first started lifting weights over 15 years ago, I had to write down every little thing that I lifted, how many times and how many pounds, reps, and all of that, you know, reps and sets. Well, as I got really good at it, became to understand what it is I was doing. After a while, I could lighten up on having to do that. And now I just go to the gym and do whatever the heck I want. And it's still effective. It's the same thing with budgeting. She's going to have to put herself on a written budget plan until such time her income increases and she understands where her money is going. And hopefully she can decrease her bills. So you get that happy equilibrium. Well, she'll where, you know, and I'm there today, and I'm sure a lot of you are. there today, you're able to go, okay, I have a general idea of what my budget is. I know how much approximately I spend each month. And while I don't track every penny, I certainly am aware of where it's going. It's not financial support that she needs. It's a budget plan. And here's the other thing. It wouldn't matter even if she had financial support and she's a walking billboard of it. That's not what solves the problem. Again, it's her boyfriend who is giving her money. In many ways, he's actually handicapping her. Because when you have someone, just like with the beggars, okay, you handicap someone from solving their own financial problem when you keep giving them whatever the so-called drug is that they need. And in this case, she needs more and more money. She talks about her boyfriend's upset with her. Sure, because if he's moving on in his life and he's got it together, he's going to wind up looking at her and going, I got my financial act together. You are going to hold me back. And let's get real here. We have social media today to talk about financial mishaps, how to, the red flags, so to speak, to look for, the financial red flags to look for in a relationship. These things did not exist decades ago because social media obviously did not exist like it does now. So today, people can be given access to information about money. Can't speak for her boyfriend. All she said was he's constantly giving her money and that he is getting upset. And she says she doesn't want to be a quote leech. Absolutely, she doesn't. But here's the thing, and I would tell this to any guy, and that's because of the situation we're sitting in this video. If you've got a woman who's constantly asking you for money because she cannot get it together, that is not the woman you want to build a relationship with. Hey, don't hate on me. I'm just giving you the honest truth. Unless you see her, and I don't care what age she's at or what age the guy's at. If you see the person you are interested in, guy or gal, okay, the person you're interested in, and they're constantly coming to you, hey, you know what? I'm $50 short. I'm $100 short. I need money. I need money. That is not the person you want to get into a relationship with, where you're going to be sharing your finances, not until that person has solved whatever the financial problem is. She could very well have a shopping addiction. But I'm going to be honest. I think before we jump to shopping addiction, which is what I had in my 20s, a lot of people, it's not a shopping addiction, so to speak. They just simply have a money budget mismanagement problem. That's what she has. She says her card note's $400 every 2 weeks and she's paid weekly. And she works at Amazon. This tells me she says she makes good money. Again, and maybe Amazon is paying decently. We all know it's not what you keep. Excuse me, it's not what you make and earn, it's what you keep. So technically, yeah, $400, that's a very reasonable, I believe, car payment in today's day and age. She says that she does hair and that I guess where she's at, they won't give her a break. She can't get customers. I'm going to be real honest here, honey. You going on social media looking like this, if you told me you were a hairstylist, I wouldn't have you touch my head of hair with a 10-foot pole. I just wouldn't. Okay. You got your bonnet on. You got your big spider eyelashes on. What I can see of your hair, it looks very dried out and like straw. If you are going to say that you do a service, you need to model that service to the best of your ability. That means lighten up on those eyelashes, like do away with them totally. And, just a nice mascara job, perhaps go conservatively a little bit. You got to take off the bonnet because what are you trying to hide underneath your head? And then what I can see, it looks really dried and straw. In other words, you say you do hair and she blames other people around her for not giving her a chance or whatnot, but you should be taking the time to model and show it off. Okay. Hey, I do hair. This is what it looks like. See, that's something else for her to consider. So those are some things that I would tell her to think about. She needs to make herself look more professional. And if I'm correct, she's in a big city. And I forgot to write down. I want to say she's in someplace like Atlanta or something. She's in a big city. So I think that's what she said. And so if we're thinking of the demographics and the income and the image, she's not sporting that image. You have to sport the image. What is it they say? Dress for the role you want to be. So you want to be a hairstylist? Why would you come in with spider eyelashes and bonnet? And from what I can tell, stringy looking, uncolored, unkept bangs. And that's just what I see.
Or in my DMs, like saying get a job.
This is a mommy holding a baby, single mom. Here we go.
But what nobody thinks about is that you have to have transportation to a job. I don't live in an area that has a bus. I don't live close to Atlanta anymore. There is no more MARTA, and none of the places near me are walking distance, for one. And for two, There's nobody to watch the baby. Who's gonna watch the baby? Then there's the get a babysitter. How am I gonna get a babysitter with no money? I have nobody to watch the baby. The whole family, my family has lives. Everybody has lives, and I understand I put myself in this position by having a kid this young, but at the end of the day, I'm here now, and I have to figure it out. He's 4 months old. I can't just leave him here by himself. I have no car to get to a job, so can we just stop with that? I get it.
She's basically online begging for money, and people are telling her, look, go get a job. And you can see she's come up with every excuse as to why she cannot work. This is the stuff that really riles the people who do go to work to make a living, putting in that hardy day's labor. And then we've got here, okay, you got time for the poontang. You definitely had time for that. Notice she didn't have a long list of excuses as to why she should not have a child yet. But now that the child is here, we've got every excuse as to why she should not work. And for those of you who think they're getting a free ride, not having to work, and you're kind of jealous, don't, because these are the people who do not retire. These are the people who are constantly dependent on the government and handouts.